Homer's Odyssey has inspired countless films, from direct adaptations to modern reinterpretations. Here's a curated list of standout titles that capture its spirit, themes, or events. Plus, we'll take a look at Christopher Nolan's epic, which is in theaters now.
How long have we been on this rock? 5 weeks? 2 days? Help me to recollect.
Number 10. The Lighthouse from 2019. Robert Pattinson's isolated, mythic tale of obsession and survival echoes the Odyssey's themes of isolation, danger, and the struggle to return home. Reviewers say The Lighthouse delivers career-best performances from Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson, paired with breathtaking black-and-white cinematography and wholly original vision. The oppressive atmosphere and psychological depth create a mesmerizing, thought-provoking experience. However, engagement proves divisive. Some find it captivating, while others feel frustrated by its ambiguity. The dream sequence where Wake stands naked, beaming light from his eyes onto Howard and gripping his arm with one of his hands, is a reference to the painting Hypnosis by German artist Sascha Schneider from 1904. The story is very loosely based on a real-life tragedy from 1801 called the Smalls Lighthouse Tragedy, in which 2 Welsh lighthouse keepers, both named Thomas, became trapped on their lighthouse station during a storm. When one man died, it is said to have driven the other mad. Other influences were seafaring literary classics by authors Herman Melville, Robert Louis Stevenson, and the supernaturally tinged cosmic horror tales of H.P. Lovecraft, as well as Algernon Blackwood and Sarah Orne Jewett.
Il sole è scomparso all'improvviso. Ulisse, che cosa sta succedendo?
9. Odyssey from 1968. Odyssey, or The Odyssey, is an 8-part Italian miniseries that stands as a meticulous retelling of Homer's Odyssey. Filmed across Yugoslavia and Italy, with a cast that feels plucked from history itself, it unfolds with grandeur and weaves a story of adventure, drama, and the timeless human struggle to find one's way back home. Odyssey is a rare gem. Perhaps the best and most authentic television production, it treats Homer's text with reverence and cinematic ambition. The breathtaking locations, the intricate costumes, and the believable portrayal of the gods and mythical creatures offer a wildly immersive experience. Mario Bava's direction of the Polyphemus sequence, as well as the Cyclops episode, is equal parts beautiful, eerie, and memorable. According to the official Rai Cultura website, director Franco Rossi intentionally chose actors who were not very well known to the public, with the exception of Irene Papas. According to the official Rai Cultura website and French magazine Télé 7 Jours, director Franco Rossi and executive producer Vittorio Bonicelli attempted to reconstruct a historical setting as authentic as possible for the Ithaca scenes involving Penelope, her suitors, and the return of Odysseus. For this purpose, a Mycenaean Greek village, based on excavations from the late Bronze Age, was constructed on the coast of Yugoslavia, which was the main filming location. For the more fanciful flashbacks, they let their imagination run free, relying on various locations and sources. As argued by classical author Fernando Lillo Redone, this is especially apparent in the Fellini-esque sequence of Odysseus visiting a rather surreal theatrical god, Aeolus. Executive producer, screenwriter Vittorio Bonicelli initially wanted to film The Iliad, another work by Homer, but realized it was too complex for a TV series. Producer Dino De Laurentiis convinced him to take on The Odyssey instead. 2001, A Space Odyssey 1968.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
2001 was co-written and directed by Stanley Kubrick, with Arthur C. Clarke contributing to the screenplay. Its plot draws mainly from Clarke's short stories, particularly The Sentinel, 1951, and Encounter in the Dawn, 1953, which explore humanity's evolution and contact with extraterrestrial intelligence. It is not a direct telling of the classic tale, but the narrative structure is the same. This sci-fi epic uses the Odyssey's structure and motifs, HAL 9000 as Polyphemus, monoliths as gods, to explore human evolution and alien contact. These are thematic rather than direct adaptations of Homer's Odyssey. Kubrick and Clarke were more influenced by metaphysical and philosophical ideas, including Nietzschean concepts of human evolution and transcendence rather than classical Greek literature. At the premiere screening, 241 people walked out of the theater, including Rock Hudson, who said, Will someone tell me what the hell this is about? Sir Arthur C. Clarke once said, "If you understand 2001 completely, we failed. We wanted to raise far more questions than we answered." Clarke later expressed some concern that the film was too hard to follow, and explained things more fully in the novelization and subsequent sequels. The movie was not a financial success at first. MGM was planning to pull it back from theaters, but several theater owners persuaded them to keep showing the film. Many owners noticed increasing numbers of young adults attending the film. They were especially enthusiastic about watching the Stargate sequence under the influence of psychedelic drugs. This helped the film to become a financial success.
It's Ulysses! It's Ulysses! Ulysses! Take my queen to safety!
Ulysses, 1954. Mario Camerini's Italian production, starring Kirk Douglas, condenses Homer's epic into key encounters, including the Cyclops, Sirens, and Circe, establishing a classic cinematic template for the Odyssey. The film is an international co-production between Italy, France, and the United States. It premiered in Italy on October 6, 1954, and was released in the United States by Paramount Pictures the following year. The palace of Ulysses, king of Ithaca, is beleaguered by a horde of suitors wooing his wife Penelope after his failure to return from the war against the city of Troy. The film was released in both Italian and English language versions. Kirk Douglas and Anthony Quinn dubbed their own voices for the English language version. The original director, Georg Wilhelm Pabst, quit at the last minute. Cinematographer Mario Bava co-directed the film without receiving credit. In mythology, Mentor was Athena Minerva in disguise. This film keeps Mentor as a separate character.
When you're reading about what weapons they had and what horrific injuries they suffered, it's really key to keep it all real.
Troy, 2004, Wolfgang Petersen's epic, starring Sean Bean as Odysseus and Brad Pitt as Achilles, dramatizes the Trojan War, providing context for Odysseus's decade-long voyage home. Brad Pitt and Eric Bana did not use stunt doubles for their epic duel. They made a gentleman's agreement to pay for every accidental hit, $50 for each light blow and $100 for each hard blow. Pitt ended up paying Bana $750, and Bana didn't owe Pitt anything. The Trojan horse prop made was given to the Turkish government as a gift. It is now on the boardwalk of Kanakkale, a seaside city about an hour away from the site of the Troy ruins, where most Troy tourists stay. Wolfgang Petersen originally didn't want Helen to appear in the movie. He felt an actress couldn't live up to the audience's expectations. The producers insisted, so Petersen cast an unknown actress. Garrett Hedlund won the role of Patroclus 1 month after arriving in Los Angeles to pursue an acting career. Wolfgang Petersen had been offered the chance to direct Gladiator 2000, but turned it down. His regret at this decision was partly why he agreed to direct this film. Sir Christopher Nolan was originally hired to direct, but was replaced by Wolfgang Petersen after Petersen's Batman vs. Superman film was canceled. Coincidentally, after Nolan was dropped, he was instead offered Batman Begins 2005 as a consolation prize. Nolan ended up directing The Odyssey, 2026.
I am Odysseus' wife.
Odysseus is dead.
Not to me.
There was no king. He sailed to Troy years ago. Took the best men with him.
The Return, 2024. Directed by Uberto Pasolini, this film focuses on Odysseus' homecoming, exploring the emotional and psychological toll of war and the challenges of reintegration with Penelope and Telemachus. Starring Ralph Fiennes and Juliette Binoche. The film is a retelling of the second half of Homer's Odyssey as adapted by Edward Bond, John Colley, and Pasolini. 20 years after setting off to fight in the Trojan War and surviving many trials, Odysseus washes up naked on the shores of his home island Ithaca. It was filmed on the island of Corfu in Greece. This film is the first time in almost 30 years that Ralph Fiennes and Juliette Binoche have starred together. They previously appeared together in Wuthering Heights, 1992, and The English Patient, 1996. As well as removing supernatural elements, the film omits Telemachus's long search for his father, which happens before his father returned. He merely thinks of doing it. 2 stories are given of the capture of Troy. One as per Homer, and the other the Odysseus actually just built a tower. The brutal punishments of the maids who helped the suitors is omitted. Either not shown or does not happen. On the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, 78% of 85 critics' reviews are positive. The website's consensus reads, "The Return removes the mythology from Odysseus' homecoming, along with some of the fun, But Ralph Fiennes and Juliette Binoche's terrific performances keep this drama absorbing.
La veille, il s'est passé quelque chose qui a changé l'idée que tu avais de moi.
Comment est-ce que tu peux savoir ce que je pense?
Contempt 1963. A bit of a meta-adaptation, Jean-Luc Godard's Le Mépris, Contempt, follows French screenwriter Paul, Michel Piccoli, who has been hired to rewrite a troubled film adaptation of the Odyssey directed by Fritz Lang, playing a sardonic version of himself. As Paul wrestles with the script, his marriage to Camille, Brigitte Bardot, quietly disintegrates, and their collapse starts to echo Homer's epic. This is a rare adaptation. It uses the act of adapting the Odyssey to tell its own Odyssean tale. Under Godard's guidance, every beat of the failing marriage mirrors the source. A husband who has lost his wife's respect, a Penelope who will not wait, a journey home with no arrival at the end. Capri becomes a sun-bleached Ithaca, and while the setting is unmistakably modern, the film remains faithful to the universal themes that have kept the Odyssey alive for nearly 3,000 years. Jean-Luc Godard had been curious about making a big-budget production. He later confessed that he hated making the film. Fritz Lang was 73 when he made the film. One of the reasons why he hadn't directed in some years, his last film was The 1,000 Eyes of Dr. Mabuse, 1960, was because he was virtually blind at this stage in his life. It was the 7th most successful film in 1963 at the French box office, a disappointment for Brigitte Bardot, but it was Jean-Luc Godard's biggest commercial success. Originally, Jean-Luc Godard wanted to have Kim Novak and Frank Sinatra as the two leads, but both actors turned it down. Producer Carlo Ponti suggested his wife Sophia Loren with her frequent co-star Marcello Mastroianni, but Godard turned down that idea. Producer Joseph E. Levine insisted on the Brigitte Bardot nude scene that opens the film, realizing that it was the only way he could sell a film that he hated. Martin Scorsese stated that this is his favorite Jean-Luc Godard film. Iphigenia, the final installment of Michael Kakoyannis' Greek tragedy trilogy, and in my view its finest achievement, following Electra, 1962, and The Trojan Women, 1971. In Nolan's The Odyssey, Agamemnon's sacrifice of his daughter is mentioned in passing, a reminder of the ruthless act that allowed the Greek fleet to sail for Troy. Kakoyannis' film turns that brief allusion into a haunting portrait of the events leading to the sacrifice. An oracle declares that the Greek fleet will never reach Troy unless Agamemnon offers his firstborn daughter, Iphigenia, at the altar of Artemis. Kakoyannis' vision of the Greek epics is far removed from Hollywood's grandeur. The Greek encampment at Aulis is a dusty, dilapidated settlement where weary soldiers wait under the scorching sun, their morale eroding as political scheming and desperation take hold. Like Nolan's The Odyssey, Iphigenia doesn't depict the gods as active agents. But Kakoyannis goes even further by stripping the story of almost all its supernatural elements. Irene Papas as Clytemnestra and Tatiana Papamoscu as the innocent Iphigenia deliver deeply affecting performances. Papamoscu's angelic innocence makes the ordeal even more heartbreaking, while Papas conveys a mother's anguish and helpless rage with extraordinary force. Interestingly, Odysseus occupies a very different position here than in Nolan's film. He is only a supporting character. Yet Kakoyannis presents him as a calculating political operator, more interested in securing victory at Troy than questioning the moral cost of achieving it. He argues relentlessly in favor of the sacrifice, believing that one innocent life is a necessary price for the success of the Greek campaign. Part of the film was shot at the ruins of Mycenae, which dates to the Bronze Age. Agamemnon was the king of Mycenae in myth, and scenes depicting his home were filmed at the ruins of Mycenae. But the film inexplicably identifies Agamemnon as king of Argos, about 11 kilometers south of Mycenae. According to Greek myth, the king of Argos at the time was Diomedes, who fought at Agamemnon's side in the Trojan War.
You men from the bank?
You wash his bar?
Yes, sir. Daddy told me I'm to shoot who's ever from the bank.
Oh, brother, where art thou? 2000. The Coen brothers' comedic reimagining sets the Odyssey in 1930s Mississippi, with George Clooney as Ulysses, creatively mapping Homeric episodes onto a Southern folk adventure. It stars George Clooney, John Turturro, and Tim Blake Nelson, with Charles Durning, Michael Badalucco, John Goodman, and Holly Hunter in supporting roles. It follows three escaped convicts searching for hidden treasure while a sheriff relentlessly pursues them. Its story is a modern satire which, while incorporating social features of the American South, is loosely based on Homer's epic Greek poem, The Odyssey. The film's soundtrack became an unlikely blockbuster, even surpassing the success of the film. By early 2001, it had sold 5 million copies, spawned a documentary film, 3 follow-up albums, Oh Sister and Oh Sister 2, and 2 concert tours, and won Country Music Awards for Album of the Year and Single of the Year. For Man of Constant Sorrow, it also won 5 Grammys, including Album of the Year, and hit #1 on the Billboard album charts the week of March 15, 2002, 63 weeks after its release, and over a year after the release of the film. About 350 extras were hired for the Klan rally sequence. Many of them were members of a military formation troop, and many were black. Joel Cohen later recalled hearing one say, "This is the freakiest thing." According to Joel Cohen, there was a snake catcher on set. We hired this guy and he came to set with a golf club, and what he would do is he would look around for snakes. If he saw one, he would rope it with the golf club and put it in this bag. I asked him what you called somebody with this profession, and he said an idiot. Joel Cohen revealed that the film was inspired by The Wizard of Oz, 1939. It started as a 3 saps on the run kind of movie, and then at a certain point we looked at each other and said, "You know, they're trying to get home, let's just say this is the Odyssey." We were thinking of it more as The Wizard of Oz. We wanted the tag on the movie to be, "There's no place like home." In an interview in the September 14, 2009 issue of GQ, Joel Cohen said, laughing, "All we've been doing for the last 25 years is remaking The Wizard of Oz, 1939. It's true. Sometimes consciously and sometimes we don't realize until after we've made the movie. Consciously in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, 2000. Oz is the only film we just rip off right and left. The Odyssey 2026, by Christopher Nolan, who produced it with his wife Emma Thomas. An adaptation of Homer's ancient Greek epic poem, The Odyssey. It stars an ensemble cast including Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Anne Hathaway, and Robert Pattinson, Lupita Nyong'o, Samantha Morton, Zendaya, and Charlize Theron. In the film, Odysseus, Damon, the Greek king of Ithaca, undergoes a long and perilous journey home after the Trojan War and encounters mythical beings as he attempts to reunite with his wife Penelope, Hathaway. Ithaca has spent 20 awkward years missing King Odysseus, who ghosted his own kingdom after the Trojan War, while a pack of pushy suitors led by Antinous try to steal his wife, Penelope, and his throne. Odysseus is out getting cigarettes, in Greek myth terms, leaving his son Telemachus to deal with terrible house guests who refuse to leave. The loyal 3, only Penelope, Telemachus, and the half-blind servant Eumaeus still think Odysseus is coming back. The bad guys. Antinous and the boys are throwing non-stop frat parties at the palace and plotting to murder Telemachus the second he gets back. The road trip. Telemachus heads to Sparta with Mentor, who is literally Athena in disguise because a god makes a better babysitter, to ask King Menelaus for dad news. Spartan hospitality. Menelaus and Helen have no idea where Odysseus is either, but they sure love talking about the old days over dinner. Back home, Penelope is stressing out about violent people from the sea who break the sacred rule of treating guests nicely. Fun fact, the ancient Greek word xenia meant treating guests like kings, but these guys are acting like total monsters. When Odysseus and his men first set sail for Troy, dolphins can be seen swimming off to the side. This was not planned, but instead a happy accident to catch while filming. The Cyclops Polyphemus was depicted by means of a 6x6 meter tall anthropomorphic animatronic puppet. The Odyssey is in theaters now. Have you seen it? Is it another Christopher Nolan masterpiece? Is it a flop? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section, and now here's our #1 pick.
Athena, my goddess, you have always protected me. Tell me, is there no way to avoid this war?
We sail for Troy.
The Odyssey 1997 miniseries. Andrei Konchalovsky's 2-part television adaptation with Armand Assante, as Odysseus offers a chronological and detailed retelling, including the Trojan War and Odysseus's journey home. The miniseries aired in 2 parts beginning on May 18, 1997 on NBC. It was filmed in Malta, Turkey, parts of England, and many other places around the Mediterranean. Greek actress Irene Papas, who played Odysseus's mother Anticlea, played notable heroines in other Greek epics. In Electra, 1962, she played the title role, daughter of Agamemnon. In The Trojan Women, 1971, she played Helen, wife of Menelaus. And in Iphigenia, 1977, she was Clytemnestra, Agamemnon's wife. On stage, she played Hecuba. In 2003, Take notes, filmmakers in Hollywood. Many of the cast and creative team of this miniseries are of Greek ancestry, cast appropriately. The creature effects for this miniseries were provided by Jim Henson's Creature Shop, where they used a talking animatronic pig roasting on a spit, a CGI for Scylla, a rod puppet sea slug-like sea monster that devours Laocoon, and the full-bodied version of Polyphemus. Eric Roberts recounts a humorous making of story in his memoir, explaining that when the miniseries aired on television, his niece's class was studying Homer's Odyssey and decided to watch this series in class instead of read the epic. However, his niece's excitement turned to dread as she recognized Eric Roberts playing the villainous lead suitor wearing what Roberts called his really short skirt and hoped nobody would recognize him as her uncle. Sure enough, later into the film, one of her classmates said, "Hey, isn't that your uncle?" As Roberts' niece expressed to him soon after that she wished her class had read the book instead. Spoiler alert, the first part of this episode is not based on the Odyssey. The opening scenes on Ithaca were invented by the screenwriters. The early scenes of the Trojan War were based on the Iliad, traditionally but uncertainly also attributed to Homer. The Trojan Horse episode was based on the now-lost Little Iliad and the Iliou Persis and Virgil's Aeneid. Laocoon's demise is reimagined as him being devoured by a slug-like sea monster. In the original myth, he was killed along with his sons by two serpents, which godly sender varies according to the version of the myth: Poseidon, Athena, or Apollo. That was our show for today. What did you think? Have you seen all the movies on this list? Where would you rank Christopher Nolan's Odyssey, near the top or near the bottom? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments section below, and while you're at it, I'd be honored if you subscribe to my channel, click the little bell to stay informed, and check out the Carl Vincent Vampire Hunter franchise. Also in the comments, until next time, this is Ted, in for Kevin, Given saying live long and prosper, may the force be with you and keep reaching for the stars.